I adore the Pokemon franchise. It's not that hard of a fact to tell about me. With all the merchandise I own, the Sylveon ring you see in all my videos, and with past crochet projects I've done off screen, it's a pretty safe assumption. Hell, I have Gardevoir tattooed into my skin for the rest of my life, so there's that. I've been thinking for a bit now of other series I can do on this channel to shake up the monotony of just making dolls over and over again, and I decided something Pokemon related will definitely help break the formula. It's something I'll never get tired of either, given I was a fan of the franchise since I was like 6 years old. So with that said, let's get right into it. Hey y'all, my name is Biscuit and welcome to my channel, Binky and Biscuit. Welcome to episode 1 of turning Pokemon cards into plushies. In this series, I'll be letting a pack of Pokemon cards decide what I'll be making next. It's a bit self-explanatory, but here's how it will go. I will record myself opening a pack, or in this episode, a tin of Pokemon cards alongside my girlfriend Lyra and bestie Kat. All 3 of us will pick a card for me to bring to life with my crochet, resulting in 3 Pokemon being made. Once everything is picked out, I will plan out how I want to make each one and get right into the project. We will reconvene at the end to discuss how I did. I think this will be entertaining, and I hope to do this more as time goes on and the Pokemon Company puts out different sets, given I can get my hands on them and scalpers don't continue to ruin everything fun. Today's episode though is more of a test of things to come, so I hope it's enjoyable regardless. As I show off each card, I'll be sure to show on screen the current market value of each one. I know collectors like to see that, but with my rules established, there's no reason to stall. So let's get right into showing what I got.
Are you making more than one plushie?
So the way we're doing this, I'll explain it, I guess, live when I actually start recording. Hold on. What are you hoping we get?
I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck is in this.
What Pokemon, if I can make any Pokemon, would you pick?
Well, obviously, any of our favorites. My favorite's Mantine. So if you got like Surging Sparks or I don't even remember what other set recently has Mantine in it.
I know nothing about what Pokemon cards have what. So I can't offer any predictions on this.
You can't offer any prediction. But what's your favorite Pokemon, Kat?
Glaceon.
Woohoo!
It's very
Okay.
it's very not obvious.
Open this in. See what we got.
You get a coin.
Get a
Pikachu
coin? Pikachu coin. Pretty. Alright. So you get
Fusion
Sword and
Strike.
Shield.
Chilling Rain.
Fusion Strike and Chilling Rain.
It's a good one.
Which one? Which one do we do first?
Do Chilling Rain first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right after you take out the code card and
And you
then
put 3 in the front.
yeah, like that. And there you go.
Okay. So there's a trainer card.
That's not a Pokemon.
That's
Reboots.
not a Pokemon. Reboot. Agatha. Trainers don't count, unfortunately. Steel.
We love Steel.
Oh,
Field
Swirlix.
stands. Swirlix.
I do like Swirlix. Galarian Yamask.
Ooh.
Nice.
Sunny Cast Form.
Sunny
That's a
Cast
card.
Form is interesting.
That is interesting.
Normal cast.
Regular
Regular
Cast Form.
Hey, it's Crocheted!
It is.
The
Diglett.
reverse hollow, Diglett. And then the hollow is a Greedent. Cute. And an energy. I guess those are option 1. I'll separate the cards that don't count.
Qualify.
And then we got Fusion Strike. Let's see what we got. Alright. At least a Sparkle.
Croconaw.
Croconaw. That's a cool Croconaw. I like that card. The art's pretty. It looks like Madoka Magica.
Darkrai.
Darkrai.
Yeah.
Panpour. We're doing a Soul Link right now, so Panpour is very dear to my heart. Glossifer. Galarian Meowth. Silly dude.
Dynamo.
Dynamo!
You were just talking about this guy earlier today, huh?
I love him. He's one of my favorites.
Gee, I wonder who you're gonna ask me to make.
Oh, but Quillfish is also
Oh,
awesome.
but Quillfish.
Quillfish.
What a funny guy.
A reverse hollow Panseer, and then
Toxicity.
hollow
Ooh.
Toxtricity, and a grass energy. So here is what we got. Here are all the options. Quick look through. So, what are we thinking?
I already know for mine, I'm going to choose the Dynamo because I love Dynamo and Electros. I don't think it'll be that hard to crochet, and I think it'll be cute, and it'll look cute crocheted.
I could do a Dynamo. That won't be that hard.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kat? What are you thinking?
I think it'd be really funny to tell you to do Darkrai.
We got Dynamo, we got Darkrai.
More realistically, though, I think Quillfish would be kind of fun.
Want to see Quillfish? Yeah, put Quillfish here.
Yeah, I'm feeling the spiky guy.
Okay, so we got a Dynamo, we got a Quillfish. I was gonna choose Spheal, but I feel like Spheal would be kind of boring if we're doing Quillfish. I guess in that case, I'll do Swirlix. Alright, so we got Swirlix, Quillfish, and Dynamo for our chosen set. I'm going to choose the order they're made in, however. This is completely unintentional, but Pokemon already has official crocheted versions of Swirlix and Dynamo. There's an artist for the Pokemon TCG named Asako Ito, who crochets the art for the cards she's featured on. We actually saw one of her cards when I was pulling earlier in this video. She made the cast form. In different sets, she made little Dynamo and Swirlix here, so that means I'll have official references to look at when I'm making those two, but not for Quillfish. So I'll be doing him last when I get a better understanding of how making Pokemon will go. First, however, I'll be starting with Dynamo, since he seems like he'll be the simpler of the two remaining. But with that said, we start with some sketching. Now the goal isn't to completely recreate the work Asako Ito has made, but instead to kind of interpret it into my own style. I don't have a pattern after all, so I'm making it up from scratch here. I do a few sketches of the Pokemon to better understand what shapes make her up. I'm going to be freehand crocheting her, so I really need to ensure I know what I'm doing. Dynamo may look a bit daunting, but her shapes are actually fairly simple. She's mostly just a teardrop with some frills sticking off of it. What will really make it look like Dynamo is the embroidery job I do for her side details. As for yarn, I'll go through what I'm using as I'm using it, but with the sketches done, let's go ahead and start crocheting. I start with the main body. I form a magic ring in white using Pound of Love from Lion's Brand. I do some increasing out to form Dynamo's little head. To form the teardrop shape, I do a row decreasing and then 2 rows of single crochet around. I repeat this process until it's ready to be stuffed and closed up. To make her frills, I do a pattern of single, half double, double, and triple crochets going up, and doing the opposite down along the side. This is to make the frills look more like fins and remain thin. When I reach the end of one side of the body, I chain 2 and do the same to the under half. I did some single crochets along the top to make it more pronounced. But well, that's all her basic bodywork done. That was fast. Now it's on to the embroidery. I start with her black details, beginning at her eyes. For the design on her body though, I decided it would be better to use black thread instead of yarn. Mostly because I made her so small, yarn would make the lines look way too clunky, so I double up my thread and go into making the lines, doing the best I can to make both sides somewhat symmetrical. I go in with some red to make her tiny mouth, and some yellow to make her little heart monitor lines on her side. And then we are done. Swirlix is the next mod on my list, and it'll be a little more complicated than Dynamo was in terms of how many pieces I have to crochet, so again I'm sketching to understand his shapes. From what I can gather by looking at Asako Ito's work here, it's the best way to approach making a bunch of lumps and bumps on this little guy is to make a base circle and separate the lumps off of that. His face will be a smooth spot, so I can actually put it down reasonably. I'm still a little nervous about this one though, since it's a lot of pieces I have to sew together, so let's try our best. I start with the basic body shape, just a little nugget I make using big twist to value yarn. Rest in peace, Joanne, you will be dearly missed. I then make a bunch of lumps and bumps to add onto the project separately. I also make his little ears in this batch, since it's separated by the fact they have a different color on the top. I get tired at some point of looking at this jumbled mess of threads and pins, so at this point I decide it's a good time to sew some of the pieces together. The ends are hidden by pulling them inside the body to serve as stuffing. Next step is his tail. I'm making my Swirlix in a standing position, so the tail will be on his back. I start with a magic ring and do a few increases to make the tail bell out. Then I go down, occasionally decreasing to make the spiral inwards. I accidentally made the tail too thin when I tried to stuff it, so it took some patience to get the stuffing crammed down there. The tail came out a little big in the end, but I thought it was cute, so I kept it. I attached it by crocheting it directly onto the body and securing it with more stitches. For the feet, I didn't make them separately. I did some puff stitches towards the bottom of the plush to serve as paws. I ran into a problem at the start where some of the stuffing came out as I did it, so I tried my best to work around that. I used a needle to further secure the nubs. Final step is his face. This shouldn't be too difficult since Swirlix is already a dopey looking dog, so if I mess up it can easily be excused for that. I start with some neon pink for the eyes and nose, doing my best to keep it symmetrical. I add in his eye whites using the pink from the body. Final step is his face. I tried the same method I did for Tynamo for the mouth, but the thread was far too thin for this process, so I had to rip it all out in the end. It was replaced with a dark blue yarn. Finally, I add his itty bitty tongue and Swirlix is now done. Final one we are making is little quillfish, so now we sketch. The sketches for this guy took me all of like 5 minutes because he's literally just a ball with spikes. I probably didn't actually have to sketch him out, but I really wanted to figure out how I wanted to do the quills. Also, I don't have a crochet reference like I mentioned earlier, so I'm on my own. Luckily, I have made a pufferfish in the past, so I have an idea. However, they will be a lot more rounded than usual quillfish. That is just kind of the nature of crochet, sadly, and it does make me feel a little bit mixed about him in the end, but I'll talk about that later. I start with a magic ring and expand out as I usually would, but as I'm expanding and going down, I eyeball where I want to add each spike and do a puff stitch. There isn't exactly any rhyme or reason to the placement here, just wherever it looks nice and is convenient to add one. I switch to green at the halfway point and continue the process. At this point I learned my lesson with the Swirlix tail, so I'm going to make sure to stuff it plenty in advance. Speaking of tails, to make Quillfish's tail I start with a magic ring and do some increases into the next row. I wanted to keep it flat, so I crochet back and forth in 3 stitches to form where it connects to the body. I then do a blue border to tie it all together. I attached the tail using blue yarn, which in hindsight was kind of a mistake. It didn't blend into the body like I wanted it to. Regardless, I get to the face embroidery using some white, some pink, and a little bit of dark blue. I again tried the thread, but it didn't work out as well as it did for the Tynamo, so yarn was a better option. He came out pretty stupid looking, but kinda like Swirlix, I can't tell if it's me or just how the Pokemon is. Sorry, buddy! Quillfish is done, and it is time to check in with the girls again to see how I did. Kat, Lyra?
I'm ready.
I finished the plushies.
Yes. I'm excited to see them.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll do them in the order that I made them. Lyra, you saw the first one because you like this Pokemon and you were having a rough day at work, so I thought I'd make you happy.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this is a little spoiled for you, but
Wow.
sorry, damn. I'm trying to be a good partner. Alright, so here is the card, and
Cute Tynamo.
here is the guy.
Oh,
Oh, these are really cute.
cute.
I think you did a really good job with the pattern on the side, the yellow little waveform looking thing he's got going on, and then the black lining that you did looks really good as those sort of creases that it has on its body. I think you did a good job with this.
Mhm.
Circuits, threading and embroidery for the details is really cool.
Thank you. And this was the card that Lyra chose.
Yay, Tynamo.
Dynamo. Okay, and then second, here is the card I chose, Swirlic. This is what the card looks like, and here is what I've made. Neither of you have seen it yet.
Aww.
Very cute. I like the tongue. That's a great addition. I guess it's important for the Pokemon, but because of the color that you chose for the tongue being the same as the eyes, it really stands out, and I really like that. It looks very silly.
Yay!
Silly little guy.
My silly creature. I tried to make him look as silly as humanly possible because he's a very silly looking Pokemon.
It is very
True.
silly.
The last one is the one that Kat has chosen. This is the card, Quillfish.
We love Quillfish in this house.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one, so I guess we're gonna have to kind of talk about it a little bit. Yeah, this is what I have.
It's a little knobby Quillfish. Not very quilly, but
They sanded him down. They picked him up.
They sanded him
That's
down.
awesome, though. That's awesome.
it's a good attempt. The face is still
Yeah.
funny. I still like him.
The face is on point, but yeah, the spikes were gonna be hard, huh?
This is what Quillfish looks like when he's at -6 attack.
You used the feather dance on him.
Yeah.
Alright, time to ramble about my final thoughts. Of the three, I think Swirlix is my favorite, which is funny because that's the card I chose in the beginning. I think I did really good with all the lumps and bumps. I don't know, I keep saying that. It reminds me of Lumpy Space Princess from Adventure Time. I just really like how I did his face embroidery, and he is really cute. So I'm glad he is the one I got to keep in the end. Tynamo I like the embroidery on, and I think I did a good job with that. Quillfish, however, I'm kind of mixed on. Yeah, he looks funny, but I don't know if he's really a professional product like I was hoping he would be. Hopefully Kat will train him up and raise his attack EVs a bit. Make those spikes a little pointy again. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. This is me trying something new, and I hope it went well for all of you. I had a fun time doing this video at least, so I want to do more. But let me know how you feel about this change in the comments below. Of course, I'm still going to do dolls going forward, but I want to shake it up a bit. I'm thinking of doing another mini-series while I wait for the materials for my next doll to come in, so stay tuned. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed the creation of these 3 Pokemon here. Bye bye now!